My topic is all about return on equity. Return on equity divides net profits by the total amount of equity on the balance sheet. Dito masusukat ang kakayahang kumita ng isang corporation at kung gaano kahusay nito nabubuo ang mga kita na iyon. The measurement can be improved by funding a larger share of operation with debt and by using debt to buy back shares, thereby minimizing the use of equity. So dito is, ang pagsukat ay maaaring mapabuti sa pamamagitan ng pagpopondo sa isang mas malaking bahagi ng mga operasyon sa may utang. Doing so can be risky if a business does not experience sufficiently consistent cash flows to pay off the debt. Sabi nga ni Benjamin Graham, investment is most intelligent when it is most businesslike. What he meant was we should not view stocks as just numbers on a stock exchange, but see them as a real businesses that we should understand before investing. Sa return on equity na may measure natin if gaano ba ka-efficient ang isang company in producing a profit for its shareholders. Nagbibigay rin ito ng insight sa kakayahang kumita ng iyong business para sa mga owners at investors. In short, nakakatulong ito sa mga mamumuhunan na maunawaan kung nakakakuha ba sila ng magandang kita o profit sa kanilang pera. Habang isa rin ito sa isang magandang method upang suriin o i-evaluate kung gaano kahusay na magagamit ng iyong company ang equity ng kumpanya. ROE or return on equity also expressed as a percentage and can be calculated for any company if net income and equity are both positive numbers. Net income is calculated before dividends paid to common shareholders and after dividends to preferred shareholders and interest to lenders. So ito yung formula ng ROE. Return on equity is equals to net income divided by average of shareholders' equity. To calculate ROE, analysts simply divide the company's net income or yung kita by its average shareholders' equity. Because shareholders' equity is equal to assets minus liabilities, ROE is essentially a measure of the return generated on the net assets of the company. Net income is the amount of income net of expense and taxes that a company generates for a given period. Average shareholders' equity is calculated by adding equity at the beginning of the period. The beginning and end of the period should coincide with the period during which the net income is earned. Dito naman is yung mga halaga ng kita, gastos at mga buwis na nabuo ng isang company for a given period of time. So for example, imagine a company with an annual income of $1,800,000 and average shareholders' equity of $12 million. This company's ROE would be as follows. So susundan lang natin yung kaninang formula na return on equity is equals to net income divided by average of shareholders' equity. So ROE is equals to 1,800,000 na annual income divided by sa average shareholders equity na $12 million is equals to 0.15 o 15%. So another example is consider Apple Incorporation for the fiscal year ending September 29, 2018. The company generated $59.5 billion in net income. At the end of the fiscal year, its shareholders' equity was $107.1 billion versus $134 billion at the beginning. Apple's return on equity, therefore, is 49.4% or $59.5 billion. So ang formula na ginamit ay $107.1 billion plus $134 billion divided by 2. So compared to its other peers, Apple had a strong ROE. Amazon.com Incorporation had an ROE of 28.3% in 2018, while the Microsoft Corporation had an ROE of 19.4% in 2018, while the Google Trading as Alphabet Incorporation had an ROE of 18.6% for 2018.